back again with another museum overview. Today we'll be looking at the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens located in Jacksonville, Florida. This museum, as you can probably infer from the title, is an art museum, but there are some historical artifacts in here as well. It is a wide range of art to offer, from modern, contemporary, and ancient. There is art here for everyone. This museum is very family-friendly and features a dedicated children's area with all kinds of interactive activities such as clay, building blocks, and even painting. There's even a little reading nook. Be sure to grab a snack at the cafe before you head out to look at the English and Italian gardens. I'd say this museum only takes about a couple hours, which gives you plenty of time to head on over to the Museum of Contemporary Art Jacksonville, which is about a 5-minute drive, and check that museum out right after this one. So, see you there! I'm finally back from all of my travels. Thank you so much for all the new followers, and I'm excited to share my recent adventures with all of you. Speaking of, I had the opportunity to visit Pompeii recently, and honestly, there are no words that do this place justice. It is one of the most breathtaking, somber, and peaceful places I've ever had the chance to visit. It's truly frozen in time, and if you have the opportunity to visit, you have to do it. I would recommend that you visit in the fall or winter, as it can get up to 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 36 degrees Celsius in the summer. Make sure to bring your walking shoes. Another museum overview? You bet. This is the Beaches Museum located in Jacksonville, Florida. It consists of an indoor exhibit in addition to some historic buildings and a train that's inside of a glass house on the outside. It also has some contemporary art pieces as well. At the time of my visit, the permanent exhibition was undergoing renovation, so I was unable to go inside, but they did have a smaller room that is dedicated to the origins of the Jacksonville Beach area, in addition to a temporary exhibition on whales. This is a history-focused museum that explores the origins of Jacksonville Beach, and if you want to learn more, you better go check it out. What was your favorite toy growing up? The Museum of Childhood might have it. This small museum located in Edinburgh contains toys meant to highlight British childhood starting all the way from the mid-19th century. Admission is free, and the museum is a lot bigger than it looks. The oldest toy in their collection is a Queen Anne doll from 1740. A little scary looking, but definitely a must-see. This museum is a hidden gem of Edinburgh for sure, so I hope to see you there. We're back with another week of museums. Thank you to those who've been watching, following, and subscribing along my museum adventures. Today we're going back to the art world with a quick trip to the National Gallery Scotland located in Edinburgh. This is one of my favorite art museums as it has one of my favorite paintings, Venus Rising from the Sea, or Venus Anadyomene by Titian. There's a lot to see in this museum, including works by famous Scottish artists, a bunch of sculptures, and even works by Monet, Van Gogh, and Botticelli. A more traditional museum, but there's something for everyone, and even a cafe that overlooks part of Edinburgh. This museum is free admission, and it's a great addition to a day trip to the city, so I hope to see you there. Did you know there's a museum underneath the York Minster? I had no idea until this visit, and it's super cool. It's even included in the price of your ticket, and you can visit up to a year for free. The museum is super small, but still holds a lot of history and artifacts, including a Viking gravestone and a Roman fresco. The museum takes you through the history of the York Minster and what had been in its place during the Roman Empire and the Viking invasion. Here you can see the original foundations of the Minster and follow along the construction and subsequent reconstruction all the way to modern day. The museum even has a church mouse that kids can follow and interact with along the way, while still being educational, of course. This is really a hidden gem within the Minster, so you should go check it out, and hopefully I'll see you there. We're back with another week of museums and historical sites. I also want to say thank you guys for the over 3,000 views on my YouTube channel. I should have some longer videos coming soon, so be sure to subscribe with the link in my bio. Now, today we're going to be looking at the York Minster, located in, obviously, York, as it's called, the York Minster. The Minster has a ton of history from the Romans, the Normans, and the Vikings. This site might feel a little intimidating at first, but I promise that it's worth it once you step inside. The architecture and stained glass are breathtaking, and it feels like you're stepping back in time. One of the great things about the Minster is once you buy your ticket, you can come back for free for a year, as long as you show the initial ticket. This is around my 3rd or 4th time visiting, so it's definitely worth it. There are currently some renovations and conservation efforts happening at the moment, so if you don't get to see everything on the first visit, it's a great reason for having the year-long ticket. There are a lot of hidden gems within the Minster itself, as well as areas that you were unable to photograph, so you'll just have to come and check out for yourself. Hope to see you there. Another museum, another video. Today we're looking at the York Castle Museum located in, well, York. This museum is larger than the last two that we've been looking at, but again, don't let that intimidate you. I found this museum fascinating and I have visited a few times. Located in the museum are multiple wings that exhibit multiple different kinds of collections, such as a fashion collection, a toy collection, and even objects from World War I. In addition to this, there's a Victorian-style street inside the museum that visitors can walk along and a dungeon that famously housed Dick Turpin. I would give yourself about 2 to 3 hours to walk through the whole museum and dungeon, as there's a lot of ground to cover and a bunch of interactive objects along the way. I don't want to spoil too much, so go and have a look for yourself. See you soon! We're back with another museum, this time delving into the art museum world. This is the York Art Gallery, and it might be similar to something you picture when thinking of a traditional museum, but don't let that scare you away from visiting. This museum is full of wonderful pieces, pottery, paintings, and sculptures. Some are by more well-known artists like Pablo Picasso, and others are by more up-and-coming artists. This museum has 2 floors, but is very accessible, and there are lots of family-friendly spaces with activities for kids and adults alike. Along with the 2 floors, there's also a studio and some galleries for temporary exhibitions and more permanent exhibitions. It can get a little quiet in the galleries, but that doesn't mean it's a library. This museum is great for a solo day out as well as an art date. The upcoming exhibition on February 27th is what I'm most excited for, as it features the art of Japanese woodblock print and will exhibit The Great Wave of Kanagawa by Katsushika Hokusai. Hopefully I'll see you there! Aboard, because today we're headed to the National Railway Museum located in York, England. This museum is pretty large and obviously filled with trains. There's a wide variety of trains all the way from 1815 to modern day, including a bullet train all the way from Japan. It is one of the only 2 bullet trains outside of Japan that's on display. This museum is super family friendly, having activities for kids as well as a Wonder Lab, which is aimed towards kids and families, and focuses on putting a fun spin on learning the basics of train engineering, featuring a wind tunnel and even a rocket launch. Depending on how much time you have, this museum could take a whole afternoon or only a couple of hours. There's 2 main parts of the museum, each offering an array of objects related to the train industry in the UK, as well as a cafe and shop. There are so many activities and displays to take a look at, but I don't want to spoil anything, so go stop by and see for yourself. See you there! Today we're looking at the Troll Museum in Bergen, Norway. This is a very family-friendly museum that can easily be done in about an hour or 2 hours. I very much enjoyed the layout and the interactive screens that are spread throughout the museum. The content was very easy to follow, having labels in both English and Norwegian. There's also an audio tour guide that's included with your ticket if you would like to in other languages. For those with young kids, this is a great first museum visit, as there are activities throughout the museum for children to follow, such as scavenger hunts, coloring pages, and there's a whole activity room dedicated just for them. A lot of the activities in the other rooms in the museum besides the activity room are at their height, which is great for them so that they can have a little bit more interaction with the museum and the objects. Don't get me wrong, this museum is great for adults. I had a blast. So hopefully you visit. See you next time. We're back again, and today we're taking a quick look at the Fantoft Stave Church in Bergen, Norway. This stave church was originally built in 1150, but moved to Fantoft in 1883. The church was meticulously rebuilt in 1997 following a fire. The church is about a 30-minute light rail ride from Bergen City Center and about a 15 to 20-minute walk from the Fantoft or Paradis station. The church itself is open during the summer months, these pictures being taken in summer 2022. However, during the winter months, it's closed, and these pictures are from January 2026. It's a long way to the top in the winter, as the ice makes it very difficult to climb up easily. The view of the church is definitely worth it when you get to the top. You would only need to spend a few minutes at the church, and afterwards I recommend taking the 30-minute downhill walk to the Gamle Haugen mansion, which is used by the Norwegian royal family for official visits. If you come in the winter, make sure to bring your sleds, as you can sled down the hills in front of the mansion. Hope to see you there! Did you know that aquariums and zoos are technically museums? This is the fact that stuck with me the most when I was learning about museums in my university class. This is the aquarium in Bergen, Norway that features sea lions, penguins, otters, and much more. My favorite were the seahorses. Obviously very family friendly and an awesome way to get kids interested in visiting museums or just out and about and used to crowds. This aquarium is about a 20-minute walk from Bergen City Center, and just outside the aquarium is a memorial for the witches burned during the witch trials in Norway. There's something for everyone here, the history lovers, animal lovers, and those who just love to learn. I highly recommend that you stop by for a visit. There's feedings that you can watch for penguins, otters, and sea lions, and it's just all around very entertaining. Hope to see you there.